are closed. Doors sure are important to nerds. Anyway, by this point Todd and I were both really tired. We drove back to the house to crash, each in our separate cars, through the campus grounds. 22 buildings worth of nerd-cosseting fun, cloistered by 100-foot-tall second-growth timber, its streets quiet as the womb, the foundry of our culture's deepest dreams. There was a mist floating on the ground above the soccer fields outside the central buildings. I thought about the email and Bill and all of that, and I had this weird feeling of how the presence of Bill floats above the campus, semi-visible at all times, kind of like the dead grandfather in the Family Circus cartoons. Bill is a moral force, a spectral force, a force that shapes, a force that molds, a force with thick, thick glasses. I am Daniel Yu at Microsoft.com. If my life was a game of Jeopardy, my 7 dream categories would be Tandy products, trash TV of the late 70s and early 80s, the history of Apple, career anxieties, tabloids, plant life of the Pacific Northwest, Jell-O 123. I am a tester, a bug checker in Building 7. I worked my way up the ladder from Product Support Services, PSS, where I spent 6 months in phone purgatory in 1991, helping little old ladies format their Christmas mailing lists on Microsoft Works. Like most Microsoft employees, I consider myself too well adjusted to be working here, even though I am 26 and my universe consists of home, Microsoft, and Costco. I'm originally from Bellingham, up just near the border, but my parents live in Palo Alto now. I live in a group house with 5 other Microsoft employees, Todd, Susan, Bug Barbecue, Michael, and Abe. We call ourselves the Channel 3 News Team. I am single. I think partly this is because Microsoft is not conducive to relationships. Last year, down at the Apple Worldwide Developers Conference in San Jose, I met a girl who works not too far away, at Hewlett-Packard on Interstate 90, but it never went anywhere. Sometimes I'll sort of get something going, but then work takes over my life, and I bail out of all my commitments, and things fizzle. Lately, I've been unable to sleep. That's why I've begun writing this journal late at night, to try to see the patterns in my life. From this, I hope to establish what my problem is, and then, hopefully, solve it. I'm trying to feel more well-adjusted than I really am, which is, I guess, the human condition. My life is lived day to day, one line of bug-free code at a time. The house. Growing up, I used to build split-level ranch-type homes out of Legos. This is pretty much the house I live in now, but its ambiance is anything but sterilized Lego clean. It was built about 20 years ago, maybe before Microsoft was even in the dream stage, and this part of Redmond had a lost, alpine ski cabin feel. Instead of a green plastic pad with little plastic nubblies, our house sits on a thickly treed lot beside a park on a cul-de-sac at the top of a steep hill. It's only a 7-minute drive from campus. There are 2 other Microsoft group houses just down the hill. Carla actually lives in the house 3 down from us across the street. People end up living in group houses either by email or by word of mouth. Living in a group house is a little bit like admitting you're deficient in the having a life department, but at work you spend your entire life crunching code and testing for bugs, and what else are you supposed to do? Work, sleep, work, sleep, work, sleep. I know a few Microsoft employees who try to fake having a life. Many a Redmond garage contains a never-used kayak collecting dust. You ask these people what they do in their spare time, and they say, kayaking? That's right, I kayak in my spare time. You can tell they're faking it. I don't even do many sports anymore, and my relationship with my body has gone all weird. I used to play soccer 3 times a week, and now I feel like a boss in charge of an underachiever. I feel like my body is a station wagon in which I drive my brain around, like a suburban mother taking the kids to hockey practice. The house is covered with dark cedar paneling. Out front, there's a tiny patch of lawn covered in miniature yellow crop circles, thanks to the dietary excesses of our neighbor's German shepherd, Mishka. Bug Barbecue keeps his weather experiments, funnels and litmus strips and so forth, nailed to the wall beside the front door. A flat of purple petunias, long expired from neglect, Susan's one attempt at prettification, depresses us every time we leave for work in the morning, resting